Hi, welcome to another allotment update. It's mid-October. We've had a couple of frosts, so there's been quite a few changes, as you can imagine. It's all looking very autumnal. Waiting for my beans to dry. My purple sprouting's looking good. The veg in here is not great. It's not looking great. I want to do this as two really big beds next year and really concentrate a lot on improving my soil. Horseradish is dying down and getting eaten by snails and things, but that's okay. Strands here flowering again, which is really fantastic. Hollyhocks hanging in there, producing lots of seed pods, which I'm pleased about. Calendula's still going for it. Easing off now, as you can imagine. There's been very cold. I have been deadheading them quite regularly, and there's a couple of bees around that I've seen today still feasting on them. Pumpkin didn't do well at all. This is all I have here, pumpkin wise. It's absolutely tiny. My soil just is not good enough. This little sedum bed is still here, still growing. I'm hoping to find other suitable small plants to go on it in the spring. Compost bays are doing well. I keep turning them, switching things around. That's pallet wood, which I'll be using for building, or if it's not good enough, let it dry out properly and then use it in my chimney for cooking. Basils obviously have died, and they obviously didn't do very well, that's why I chucked them in there. Nasturtiums, I've pulled loads out and got the little seeds because I want to do some capers. So it's a time of year for doing preserving and stuff for winter. I've just had a huge mouthful of autumn raspberries. I'm hoping that, I'm planning on making this a big soft fruit cage here. Managed to do the hedges a little bit with the help of my son. Quite dangerous work. It's a very wide hedge, and unfortunately my neighbours don't do anything about it. This little wildflower bed's doing okay. I'll probably do it again next year, or maybe put my lavenders down there, I'm not sure. Still getting some nice mint, although it is starting to flower. Well, lots of it has actually flowered already. The hops have done really well, so I'll be using that for mulch somehow. Let's see, holly's doing beautifully. So glad I put lots of energy into bringing it round when I first got my plot. Gave it lots more light, took a lot of weeds from around it, cut down the hedges, and it's doing really well. I'm very pleased about that. It's obviously going to get a lot bigger, but it's very slow growing, so it's really suitable for the position. Obviously this little wildflower bit's looking a bit sad here, but I have got some geraniums and some what's it called? Anyway, got some really nice plants there which are medicinal as well. Comfrey, I keep taking that down and using it for my comfrey feed. That's my comfrey feed box there. It does it really well. Dead hedge, dead something, whatever, yeah, dead hedge I guess it's called. Just keep adding my hedge clippings to it because I don't really want to do my compost, so that'll dry down and then eventually I'll be able to chop it up and use it. Fantastically, this big sycamore that was growing in the hedge has been cut down, so that should really increase the light on my plot. Well, it is increasing the light on my plot. and it'll stop my polytunnel being shaded. When I first got here it was about just a little bit taller than the hedge, and it just got ridiculously tall. And it'll stop all that honeydew collecting on my polytunnel, which is good. Right, this is another different kind of comfrey. It's a small one, but it's doing really well there, and it's really useful. I keep my nettles because I really like them as a nettle tea. This little hedge here, this little corner here, I've got ideas for it. I'm going to put my strantia down here. So I'll be moving a few plants down here that really enjoy a kind of moist, shady spot. Let's see what the view's like from here. So yeah, I'm sure you can see lots of changes if you look back at my other videos. I keep losing the light here. I'm trying to do this video before the next deluge and storm. My Cape gooseberries, obviously I've done something wrong. They've just got way too much foliage and too much tall, so I've over fertilised. They don't like it fertile, so I'll try them again next year, probably in pots and not so many. But I have had probably about 6, I've made about 6 Cape gooseberry and apricot chutneys, which is really delicious in winter. Pretty much goes with anything. So I'll definitely be growing them again. These are the only toms I've had, and mainly I give them to my son for my grandson because he does like his little tomatoes. These are dahlias, which I've just pulled up. They're nice and black, and I'm just letting the goodness go back down into the bulbs. This is what I'm going to be putting in my polytunnels, just some winter salads and a bit of not very thriving watercress. Anyway, that's going to be going in my polytunnel when my Cape gooseberries come down, which won't be that long now. Oh yes, I've also had a couple of made a couple of batches of jam, but only got sort of 2 or 3 jars out of each of them because it wasn't that many. Probably had about 500 grams, which isn't great for however many plants I've got there. Let's see. So yeah, you'll be able to notice lots of differences. Lots of things have died back. I'm going to be leaving lots of seed heads on, even though it looks a bit untidy. It doesn't matter. It's really good for the wildlife. We need to encourage as much wildlife and biodiversity. I know it doesn't looks a bit formal, this garden, but there is a lot of biodiversity, and I do have lots of edges that I don't really touch. Let grow a bit wild. I did manage to change the levels on to raise the pond on this side so that it drains into that bit there where the pond loving plants are going to be. So yeah, I thought I'd just keep this short and sweet. Just show you what my garden looks like at this time of year. Because I think by the time I make another one, it'll look very different even then. I would have cleared a lot more dead vegetation, and I'm going to be clearing my beans. I'm just waiting for them to ripen properly. So I'm really looking forward to the next growing year and having a lot bigger space to grow my fruit and veg and have a lovely big soft fruit cage. Yeah, I suppose with gardening there's always something to look forward to. It's really good for depression, really good for raising my self-esteem a bit after being so thoroughly crushed. So yeah, I hope these videos inspire you to get growing and just try new things, and don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to try and make yourself a little space that you feel comfortable in. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching.